This is Larry the Barber Man. I'm here at Barber Barber in London with Joey Powers. Joey Powers is a barber for Johnny Barber. And I'm here to interview Joey to find out a little bit about his journey in barbering and also how it is to work at Barber Barber, because Barber Barber was established in 2013, now have 5 stores. As you can see from the camera, no expense is spared. There's a movement, something special is going on with Barber Barber, and I'm going to see what I can extract from Joey during this interview. So, Joey, have a standard question. Where and when did you start in barbering, and what was your inspiration and motivation?
Okay, so I started in 2014, and what it was for me, it was a complete career change. So for 10 years I was working with my dad. I've come from a scrap metal background, you know, and it was getting to the stage where I couldn't see myself doing that for the rest of my life. And it was like, where do I go, what do I do, because that's all I've ever known. And then, it sounds a bit of a cliche, but barbering just hit me like a lightning bolt. You know, I got a trade out of it. I kind of liked being in a barber shop, you know, the banter, and it was just like a load of cool guys, and that was really attractive for me. So it took me a little while to sort of break away through from my dad's company, and for me it was like, how am I going to get into it? I was 25 at the time, and I couldn't see myself doing like a college course or a 3-year apprenticeship. So I dived in and I had a look, and London School of Barbering. They was offering like a 9-week course, which looked very appealing, and I jumped on board with that. And from there, I mean, it's kind of snowballs, you know. That gave me the good basics from obviously a guy that couldn't even hold a pair of scissors or a comb. 9 weeks later, I'm cutting hair. So that was ideal for me. The inspiration and the influence that has got me to where I am today is obviously Dale Watkins. I remember it vividly. I was on a train, and one of my old school friends, she's a colourist at Real Hair in Chelsea, and she said, "Oh, if you're getting into barbering, you need to check this guy out, Dale Watkins." So I was watching an interview on, I think it's myhairdressers.com. And I was like, this guy's just next level, and that's who I kind of wanted to aspire to, like, do you know what I mean? Aspire to. And yeah, he really, really caught my eye. And I made ways of sort of introducing myself to him, and he took me under his wing, and it's just literally snowballed from there.
So Dale brought you to Barber Barber?
Yeah. So I left London School of Barbering, and I was working in a little local shop to me. Me and Dale would train after work 2 to 3 times a week, like relentless. And it was hard. There was blood, sweat and tears, definitely. But it's got me to where I am today, you know, and I'm very grateful to that man.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about your dress sense, because on Instagram you're known as the mod barber, and you're clearly a mod. Was you a mod whilst you was a scrap metal dealer? Because I can't kind of imagine you with all these greasy fingers and your jeans, and then coming home and being dapper like this.
I always like to look sharp and dress snappy, you know. For me, the name the mod barber kind of come from my first shop. It was like a mod inspired shop, you know, the targets everywhere, Lambrettas outside the shop, and it just kind of stuck. But what's really attracted me was the subculture movement in the UK, you know. So I love to learn about subcultures, different gangs and groups, and why they wore that, and why do they call themselves that. So yeah, that's a big driver for me. You know, I like to learn about subcultures and where they come from, and why has he got that haircut, why is he wearing them shoes. You know, it's really interesting stuff.
Okay. So do you get a lot of clients coming in to do mod cuts? Because I've seen Johnny doing mod cuts at Barber Cut in Dublin. I see Dell likes to do mod influence cuts. Do you get a demand for that as a result of you being a mod?
Not particularly, no. It's they kind of they're like a rarity, you know. They don't come in every day, and when one does come in, I like to jump on it, you know, because it's kind of like a little treat for me, because I love doing them haircuts. You know, it's not the run-of-the-mill haircut that you get in day to day. You know, when they come in, it's nice. It gives me a chance to do something different. You know, my creativity flows through them sort of haircuts. Okay. Longer hair, I love to work with longer hair.
Okay, so barbering has a big association and influence on fashion. Do you think that mod is coming in?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been about. It kind of comes in revolutions, you know, like waves. There's a massive modding culture at the minute, you know. They're putting on Northern Soul nights everywhere now, and it's kind of erupting again, you know. I wouldn't say the swinging 60s are back, but it's almost like a little bit of an underground movement, you know, off the radar a little bit. Northern Soul nights are popping up in dingy little clubs here and there, and it's kind of got that rawness back now.
Okay. So let's talk about working at Barber Barber. I mean, like I said, you started back in 2013. You've now got 5 shops, and you know, I'm sure there's big plans for many more to come around in 2017. Tell me about your experience working there. What could someone who maybe wanted to be employed in your shops that are coming next year, what they could expect working with Johnny? You know, he's a very charismatic, very intelligent.
Johnny's a great guy. You know, I draw a lot from Johnny. The way Harry runs barbershops, how he expects things done, the professionalism is off the scale. Working for Barber Barber, it's very exciting. You know, you don't know where's going to be next. It's literally took it by storm. You know, 5 very, very beautiful shops in the space of 3 years that are busy. You know, there's a lot of demand for it. You know, working here, it is tough work, but I wouldn't want to work anywhere else. You know, this is like the Harrods of barbershops. It's great, it's beautiful. People walk past, they stop, they take photos. And working here is a great atmosphere. I've learnt so much. And when Johnny was here working in London, it was just, that's when I got to see, you know, how a proper barbershop should be run.
Okay. So if someone was kind of starting where you did, which was not so long ago, what would you tell them would be a good reason to come and work with Johnny Barber? Because he's continuously recruiting and will continue to recruit.
Prepare yourself for a ride. It's like I said, it's hard work. The gains are literally off the scale. You know, the standard of work we produce here is beautiful. You know, it's very precise, very elegant, very classic. Since working here, and obviously since I've been with Dow, my skills have just gone through the roof. It's very structured, you know. I've learnt so much since I've been here.
So if they come in, would they get taught by Dale?
Yes, yeah, Dale's the educator. Okay. Yeah. And even today, I'm constantly watching, picking up new tips. That's the thing that I love about barbering. You know, I'm never done. There's always something more to learn, and it's great. You know, it keeps me on my toes. It keeps me excited.
Okay. And where do you see yourself maybe in 6 years' time at Barber Barber with its rapid growth? Because I think things are only going to compound here.
Who knows? I mean, I'm a London boy. It's going to be hard to take me anywhere else, but you know, who knows? It can go anywhere. Johnny's very, very driven. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and this could go worldwide. You know, I wouldn't turn down a guest spot in New York. Let's just say that.
Okay. I'm just trying to think if that's a hint or not.
Who knows?
Okay. And what are you loving about the barbering? Because you know, in the last 3 years, barbering has just gone absolutely bonkers. I mean, it's just gone from something that was underground and not so mainstream to being right up there, attracting lots of celebrities. And
I like where it's going. You know, it's exciting. There's new sort of expos popping up here, there, and everywhere. It's a great industry to be in. You know, like you mentioned fashion earlier, barbering's getting involved in fashion weeks and stuff like that. It isn't so. The limelight's not solely on hairdressing now. You know, barbering's not in the shadows. It's standing tall and standing strong. And it's a great place, it's a great industry to be in. You know, it's exciting.
okay. Would you like to see any changes with this rapid growth? Because people are having to adjust themselves to something they never expected.
It's not so much changes. I mean, I think it's moving in the right direction. You know, we're kind of getting the credit we deserve now, and the limelight as such. And it seems to be that it's only going to get bigger and better. So not so many changes in the industry, because I think it's moving in the right direction.
What would you say your greatest moment has been in barbering in your very short career? Because
Yeah, I mean,
you're in a part of an explosive company.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still early days. You know, I've been cutting hair for 2.5 years now. Obviously, landing the job at Barber Barber was a massive boost in my career and a massive highlight. And I also done a men's hair workshop for the fellowship that was put by Johnny. And that was a great experience. You know, the educational side of things, it interests me a lot. And yeah, that was a good. There's been a lot of highlights. You know, Dale taking me under his wing. That changed everything for me. There's just so much, and it kind of seems to just keep getting better and better. You know, it's I'm excited, very, very excited to where my career could potentially go to. You know, I'm not one to just sit back and I push myself a lot. You know, I didn't get into this industry to necessarily just be standing behind the chair. I strive for this stuff.
So Johnny's only exasperated his drive to be the best and move forward. Because he's obsessed with it, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a great man to learn by. You know, it's very, very inspirational how the attitude and the enthusiasm Johnny's got with this. You know, he's really got the bit between his teeth and he's running with it, and I love to see that. It's great to be a part of that as well.
Okay. I want to go a little bit deeper into what you mentioned about the workshop you did with the fellowship. Go into a little bit more detail about what you actually did there.
So again, I kind of walked into the unknown. I didn't really know what was the foundation of it. So there was, I think, 8 masters or whatever you want to call them. You know, it was all from all different salons. You know, there was a guy from Jamie Stevens, a guy from Hobbs, and it was good. And then there was a class of, say, 50 students, and we'd get 3 or 4 students each, ask them what they want to learn, what they want to perfect, or where their weaknesses are, so they can learn new skills to try and better themselves and become stronger and stuff like that. And yeah, it was a great experience. It was my first experience in the educational side of things. I gained so much from it. And it was an honour to be asked to do something with a fellowship. You know, that's a really prestigious part of hair.
The most prestigious in some respects.
Sorry?
I said the most prestigious.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants that gold star. You know, it was great. You know, Rachel was there from Modern Barber, which is very nice of her. She'd done a little article in that magazine for me. It was great. Yeah.
And which month was that? Which month of?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even get a copy.
And the feature was along the lines of Joey Power is or was or has.
Yeah, and obviously Barber Barber got a mention in that, which was great. It was in like the what's happening this month kind of thing. Mm.
You see yourself doing more? Is there any more press coming up for you?
Hopefully, 2017 is looking like a really great year for me. So I'm going to keep pushing away at it, chipping away, putting myself out there and seeing what I can gain from that.
So what's in the calendar so far?
The calendar so far is there's a photo shoot coming up. That is probably going to be next month, if not early Jan. And then there's talks with a few other people. It's very sort of nothing set in stone yet.
Photo shoot with who?
So Andrew Gilbert's going to be doing the photography, and it's going to be sort of my first showcase. My first photo shoot.
And collection.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're in good hands with Dale.
Of course.
Been mentoring you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said before, it's great having Dale in my corner. He pushes me, and he's got me sort of walking amongst the right circles.
Joey Powers, thank you very much for sharing your story, both your personal story and your story of working with Barber Barber. To anyone who's out there, this is Joey's experience of Barber Barber. They're going places, they're doing things, and the shops look like they are not going to stop in the near future. So if you're looking for a new, exciting direction to go in life, this may be an option for you. And I wish you the very best of luck and success with your career path at Barber Barber and your photo shoots and whatever else you may be doing next year, Joey. So thank you.
Thank you, Larry. It's been a pleasure.